3855 Carbo Court in La Mesa. This is Ian with Build Brothers. Going to go ahead and do a quick visual inspection here on an existing solar system. We've got a flat concrete tile, most likely the original tile that the house was built with, but the roof has been redone. And if I had to guess, it was redone when the solar was installed. The installation method they used is what we call a picture frame. That means that there are asphalt shingles underneath the solar panels, and then the tiles are installed everywhere else. So you can't actually ever see the asphalt shingle unless you look underneath there. That does a couple things. The best waterproofing is accomplished on a solar install using asphalt shingles. It also, when we re-roof a house, it gives us a whole bunch of extra tiles to use on the rest of the roof. And so if we were to use the concrete tiles on the whole roof, we'd come up short. But by picture framing it, it gives us all of those extra tiles to use on the house. The solar system, let's first start on the roof. The roof looks professional, looks well done, looks like you get a lot of usable life left out of it. The flashings are all properly installed. The skylights appear to be properly installed. I don't think I have found any broken tiles at this point. The solar system is 24 SunPower 327 watt panels. Unfortunately, SunPower is out of business, but that's okay because very rarely do we have a panel malfunction. These panels will produce less and less electricity over time, but this was the highest quality solar panel on the market, which means it degrades at the lowest amount than any other panel. I was able to see the label, and so that's where I got the information about it being SunPower 327s, but we can also tell by the cells. Each one of those squares with the little diamonds in the middle is called a cell, and the cell count on this panel was exclusive to the SunPower brand. There is what's called Tygo optimizers installed on these panels, and so that makes me think that potentially the original solar install, I have reason to believe it was done in 2013, but I think maybe the system was pulled off, the roofing project was done at that point, and the system was reinstalled with Tygo optimizers. Those Tygo optimizers were to comply with new electrical codes in 2017 called rapid shutdown. The SMA inverter on the side of the wall does not comply with rapid shutdown. Well, reinstalling a solar system you don't have to comply with the new rules, but they did. What that tells me is it was a very professional company that did the work. The waterproofing looks good. The only thing I see underneath the panels that is fairly minor is hanging wires. I'm guessing that the home inspector found a whole bunch of dangling wires, and those that can create problems in the future. But what we want to see is that the connectors are not touching the roof surface and not getting a whole bunch of water on them every time it rains. So the dangling wires are minor in my opinion, and I don't think that those will create a long-term issue. And to fix it, you got to pull up all the panels, and it's a lot of work for what is a very minor issue. That's called no-Hagen rooftop vent. That's allowing hot air to escape the attic. There could be a couple more underneath the solar panels. Can't quite tell. 24 solar panels times 327 watts per panel gives us a system size of 7.8 kilowatts. 7.8 kilowatts, degrading over the last 13 years. The manufacture date on the inverters on the wall down there are 2013. And so we can assume that this system was originally installed in 2013. And so this system has lost maybe 10% of what it was producing originally. And so we can assume that this solar system is big enough to offset about a 300 to maybe a $400 average SDG&E bill. Everything is consistent down here on the lower level. Same panels, same installation method, same roofing practices. Everything looks good. We got drip edge on the roof. We got tile riser. We don't have any broken tiles. We've got nicely installed Z-bar over here. We got a tile pan underneath there, so everything looks good there. The conduit looks professional. It's painted to both match the roof and the wall. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it and get down off the roof now. Down on the ground now, obviously, and we've got 2 SMA inverters. We're gonna have to deal with the dogs barking because I think they're just gonna keep barking as I talk. But if we look carefully, we can see a manufacture date of 2013. Not sure if you can make it out in the video because those labels are pretty burnt by the sun. Previous homeowner has made these little makeshift covers for the screens, and so the screens are actually in pretty good shape. It is overcast right now, and this system is doing 1500 watts. And over here, this one is doing 1500 watts. So safe to assume that 12 of the panels come to this inverter and 12 of the panels go to that inverter. This Sunny Boy SMA inverter had a really cool feature where if the sun is shining and the grid is down, this outlet should have power if it's working properly and connected properly. So nice little feature. Typically the power goes out when the sun is down, but we installed a lot of these inverters between probably 2013 and 2018. They became a little obsolete when I forget the UL listing number, but rapid shutdown became required. This manufacturer did not come up with a simple solution to comply with that new code, and so everybody went away from these SMAs. They had a 10-year warranty out of the box. The manufacturer's still around. They're still in business, German company, but these are past their warranty. When these inverters die, most of the time we are upgrading homeowners to a Tesla Powerwall, which has the inverter and the battery all in one unit, and the inverters are large enough to actually put the whole system onto one, so you no longer need 2. So something to keep in mind in the future. Battery backup is really beneficial for several reasons. Full disclosure, this is exactly how I found this electrical panel. It's obvious that there's been an electrician doing some work. I see some outlets here. A whole bunch of circuits in the house are off. I'm not going to touch any of those. I literally have not touched any of this. And I'm going to close the door, but leave it just as I found it. Oh, here's your SDG&E meter. There's no monitoring on this solar, and there's no easy way to connect any monitoring to have like an app to see the production. So if you look in the bottom left-hand corner of that screen, you'll see a box, and a triangle, and it's creating an arrow to the left. That's a good sign. That means that the solar is producing more electricity than the house is using, and the solar is back feeding the grid. So that's the easiest way to tell if this system is working. Obviously, you can go look at the screens on the inverters. Quality system. SunPower is the best panels. SMA solid string inverter, as simple as it gets. The Tigo optimizers that they installed at some point for some reason did complicate the system slightly, but we haven't seen many failures on those Tigo optimizers, so no reason to do anything about them just now or just yet. What did I miss? I think that's it. If you have any questions, let me know.